Before we jump into today's show, I've got a really exciting announcement to make. The autumn cohorts for Start Your Podcast group program are now open. There are 5 dates between September and October, and it's a 6-week program that will get you launched before Christmas. So if podcasting was on your to-do list this year, if you really want to get your podcast up and done by the end of 2023, then come and join me for one of those cohorts and let's make it happen. I have a free masterclass available for you called Understanding the Power of Podcasting. You can go over to donnaeade.com/masterclass, watch the masterclass and get access to that enrollment. I hope to see you in one of the autumn cohorts very soon. That's donnaeade.com/masterclass. Let's get back to the show. You're listening to the Wedding Procast UK, the place to be if you are a UK wedding professional looking to grow and streamline your business. I'm your host, Donna Eade, 10-year wedding photography veteran and CEO at the Society of Professional Wedding Vendors. If you want to grow and streamline your business, this is the podcast for you. Make sure you hit subscribe where you listen or join our email list at www.spwv.co.uk. You'll find the sign up form at the bottom of every episode, and by doing so, you won't miss a thing. So let's jump into today's show. Would you like to increase your credibility and your inquiries? Well, if you do, you might want to consider joining the Society of Professional Wedding Vendors. We are currently open to new members, and the Society provides a set of professional standards through our Code of Conduct for our members to abide by. By signing up to our code, you are giving couples peace of mind knowing that they are booking vendors they can trust to deliver their precious day without a hitch. Head over to www.spwv.co.uk to find out more. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. It is so good to be back in full voice and able to come to you with a brand new episode today. So today we are looking at, are you leaving money on the table in your business? That is the topic of today, and there is a specific thing that I want to talk about that I've seen a well-known business fail at. I'm not going to name names, but I am going to give you the story. But before we jump into that, I wanted to reiterate the importance of your email list. A few weeks ago, you will know Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, all the Facebook-owned companies stopped working. And what happened when that happened? Did your world fall apart? Were you lost? I'm sure you coped, but imagine if that outage had been longer or indefinite. Now, for me, I rely on WhatsApp to talk to my family. I rely on Facebook and Instagram to reach you guys. And I also have my email list. So if you're not already on it, this email list means that even if those things go wrong and go away, I can reach those who are subscribed to get my podcast notifications. So you can head to spwv.co.uk, head over to the podcast, and at the bottom of every episode, there is a link to join the list for that. So I know a lot of you think an email list may not be useful for you because you've got such a quick turnaround with brides and grooms that, how are you supposed to nurture them and gain clients from your email list? But I would say definitely don't dismiss it. If used correctly, it can be great value. Don't just take emails at wedding fairs and send one email stating your services, or worse, do nothing with them. Set up a nurture sequence. I'm going to do an episode coming up about how to nurture your list effectively. So do head over to the website and subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss that, or head over to any of the podcast platforms, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, and sign up there so you don't miss that, because it is going to be a few weeks. I've got a few interesting episodes coming up. So this company really did miss a trick. I received an email from them. They are a company that provide networking networking services, and I've previously visited one of their meetings, and they were telling me what they had on offer now that things were quote unquote back to normal. They said that they were going back in person. They also indicated they had dedicated online groups, and they were also going to provide a hybrid option where you attend the first meeting of the month and the others were online. And that sparked my interest. I was like, oh, hybrid model, that might be worth a look at. So I continued reading the email, and it finished with, if you would like to visit again, let me know. We'd love to have you back. And that was it. And I was left baffled. Where was my link to find out where my nearest hybrid event was, or any event for that matter? Where was the link to what it was going to cost me to join this network? Now, oftentimes you'll find that some networking companies aren't very transparent with their pricing online, but I've been before. This was literally an email to say, you have been before, this is what we're doing. So I've already seen their prices once before, but we don't keep those to hand. So why not be transparent with me? The only way I could get more information was to email this person back. Now, how many times have you sent an email to your list and asked a question, or given them an opportunity to email you back, and it happened? I can tell you, for me, it's in the range of around 1%. And I have quite a active list on the averages. It's right there in the averages of open rates and click-through rates and things. So to only get a 1% coming back when my click-through rates are higher than that, it seems absolutely ridiculous that there wasn't a call to action, a button to click. People often want to do their own research and reading before they actually speak or engage with somebody, because if they come to you straight away, they feel like they're going to get sold to. They need some information, some insight into what they're looking at so that they can know whether you are in their ballpark. Are you going to provide what they want? Are they going to get the service they want from you? Are they going to be in the right price bracket for you? And we'll come back to that. I have no idea with this company. I would have to reply via email to this person to attend another meeting. Well, I don't want to attend another meeting. I want to find out where my nearest hybrid is. I want to find out how much it's going to cost me, because I know that this company has a membership fee. I want to know that information. I don't want to email her to attend a new meeting. So put a call to action in your emails, a place where they can go and find out more. Every email should be geared at getting them to do one thing and going to one place to listen to one thing. So, for example, in my podcast emails, I try to keep my call to action to just one thing. Click on the podcast and listen to the podcast. There is a link at the bottom to go and join the Facebook group. So if you haven't done that, then please do come over and join us in the Facebook group. But that I don't talk about. It's just there at the bottom. People can click it if they want. The email itself is geared to getting people to listen to the podcast. So for you, it might be clicking through to view your brochure. Now, I also suggest putting your call to action in there at least twice. If it's a longer email, 3 times. So you will often find, if you look at your click maps, and I don't want to get too technical, but in MailChimp, you can certainly see which links people are clicking on. And I often find it's the second or the third one that they're clicking on to actually go through and listen to the podcast. So if you just put one in there, it may be that they're not going to click it. Now, it may be that they've actually, it shows me that they're reading the whole email before they're clicking off to listen, which is great. But definitely have it in there a couple of times so that they don't have to scroll to get back to it, and that it's just there for them. So there should be a call to action in every mass email you send. If there isn't, it is a waste of time, because there was no call to action in this email apart from me emailing them back. So I'm not going to be visiting this network again. I have no idea if there is a group right on my doorstep, or if there isn't anyone anywhere near me. They have left money on the table by not giving me the information I needed to decide if I wanted to visit again. If there's no group near me doing hybrid, it's a waste of my time emailing back. If it's out of my price range, there is no point in me emailing back. And because I couldn't work that out for myself, I did nothing. So help your clients self-select. It saves everybody time. What was more baffling is literally the day I was writing out this outline for this podcast, the company sent me another email. It was literally 2 lines. It didn't address me by name, and it just said, "Oh, hey, we now offer these options, and here's the links." This is not the way to engage your clients. If you send a price list and just say, "Hey, price list attached as requested, all the best," it's just as bad as writing a detailed email with no call to action. It was just so impersonal and so buy my stuff. It was just so weird to receive those 2 polar opposite emails, and neither of them were effective. So I mentioned pricing earlier, and I just wanted to touch on that again. I know that a lot of people do not want to send their prices through email. I know that you can feel like it's going to make your customers go, "Oh, well, they're not doing exactly what I want and it costs too much," or some combination of that. But I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. I really, really believe that if you give them a prices start from and my average client spends and give them totals in that respect, it helps them to see whether or not they are going to be able to afford you in their budget. You know, everybody has a budget. Some people are winging it for sure. But if you can turn around and say, my average client spends around £800 and my prices start at £750, you know, it's like whatever combination it is, it lets them know that they can work with you for as little as, and then, you know, to get, you know, the average service from you, they're going to be spending that. And if they want the full package, they know they're going to be a bit higher than that. So it gives them a really good idea of whether you fit their budget or not. And they can self-select on that. Then if they like your stuff and that budget fits them, they're going to get in contact. So when you have a list of wedding fair people and just sending them that initial email to let them know whether they won the prize draw or not, you can say, "Hey, it was absolutely great to meet you. Please find attached my brochure and my average prices. I would love to connect with you and talk you through what I can offer you if that's something you're interested in. Click here to see more." And get them to click through to a brochure, but make sure that that brochure then has a call to action. Like you can, in PDFs, you can have a link and maybe it's like, "Are you ready to book a call with me? Book here." And a link that they can click and go straight through to your Calendly and book an appointment with you. So lead them through the process. Always lead them to the next step. So today we've touched on the importance of your email list. Subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss our in-depth look at email coming soon. We looked at how not guiding people to the next step can mean you are leaving money on the table. We talked about having one specific focus for your email, one link to click, not half a dozen, or if there is half a dozen, they better all be leading to the same place. A confused mind says no. Somebody absolutely wonderful said that. I can't remember who it was. I heard it from Sue Bryce, but yeah, absolutely. A confused mind says no, because that's the safe option. And we also talked about allowing your clients to self-select. So I hope you found that interesting. It really did blow my mind that a company that is so well established could make such a faux pas in their email. Thank you so much for listening. Don't you go leaving any money on your table. If you enjoyed this episode, it would be great if you would share it with others in the industry or on your social. And if you can, head to Apple Podcasts and leave a review. I would be so very grateful, and it helps me reach more wedding vendors that might find value in these podcasts just like you. I do check the reviews, and if you leave one, I can give you a shout out on the show. So thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.
forget to hit those stars and leave a review of the podcast where you listen if you found value in what you heard today. It's a free way you can help the podcast reach more people just like you.